that you do. If you meet somebody when you walk 5 steps over there, will you give them this card for me and tell them that they can go get a shake and tea on me? And they'll be like, well, now that you said a free shake and tea, now that you mentioned that, I mean, I could stand to lose probably, 5 pounds. Great, come see me. I mean, it's really that simple. So especially when you have a nutrition club. So I'm using that as an example, especially for the new people. You can become a high-paid storyteller to be able to tell your story by getting your result. So now I'm going to tell you mine. So for me, what it was is I was kind of like what Philip said. I loved my career. I loved what I did every single day. I was a counselor. I worked with children and their families, and I felt like I was able to help people change their lives, because sometimes it's just a matter of being able to talk to somebody about your issues. Because I don't know about you guys, but I came from the typical dysfunctional family. So for me, coming from the typical, because people say, oh, no, I don't have a dysfunctional family. Oh, great. But most people do. And so, so for me, it was amazing to be able to help other people transform their lives mentally, physically, because I say I was doing mind, body, spirit already. So the problem that I was dealing with was I was a full-time student working on my master's degree. I was a full-time, I am a full-time mom, because I'm still a mom. Still a mom. I'm still a mom, and I was working 50 to 60 hours a week. So full-time mom, full-time employee working 50 to 60 hours a week. And I was working on my master's degree full-time, taking an 18-hour load. Oh. If you've ever been in college or in school, period, most people don't do that, especially not on a master's degree. My thing was I needed to do a fast track, get finished, because mentally for me, I had been in school a long enough time that I was ready to get out and start helping people. So when Herbalife came into my life, when my friend, which was my sorority sister, when I went to go visit her, side note, my daughter, and this is the fun part, so I told you I was a full-time mom. My daughter was actually pregnant. So yes, I am a grandmother as well. And I'll let you.
Grandma T.
Grandma, my T. I'm my T. Because I don't go by grandma, but I'm my T. But my daughter was pregnant while I was working on my full-time career and working on my master's degree, 18 hours. So can you imagine the stress that I was dealing with? So for me, it became an issue of I'm eating because I'm in school trying to stay awake because I'm really not getting any sleep. And I'm stressing because my daughter is expecting, and I have to now become not only a full-time mom, but I have to help support a teenage daughter to be able to help her still graduate from school. So I had a lot of stress on me. Does anybody else ever deal with stress ever in life? Okay, so if you're currently having stress issues, Relax Now. I'm going to make a product plug. Relax Now is an awesome product. But I went to go visit my sorority sister because I just kind of needed a break. And I went to visit her in the month of March. And then I went back to visit her in April. My grandson was born the end of April. I went back to go visit her. And in a month, I was like, hey, hold on. I just saw you. What in the world are you doing? So kind of like you heard other people saying with their stories, people are watching you and then they see. What she didn't know at the time for me was financially, I'm thinking about getting a part-time job. Now, full-time mom, full-time 50, 60-hour work week, 18-hour master's load, and now I'm talking about getting a part-time job. So it's like, who needs to sleep, right? So I ended up putting on an additional 50 pounds in the year during that time that my daughter was pregnant and that year of me being in school. And so when you go to the doctor, one of the funniest things that the doctors will tell you is if you have different health issues, the doctors say you need to treat your thyroid. Or, treat your thyroid. But they tell you need to lose weight, and then you're sitting up there. If anybody in here lose a pound or needed to lose a pound, okay. So then, if they tell you to lose weight, how often do they actually tell you what you should do? If it is not prescribing you a diet pill,